Hello, my name is Dustin Atwood, Master Certified Technician. Been in the business a few decades at this point. I try and hang out with you once a week, maybe twice a week, and talk about what's going on in the automotive industry. So hopefully maybe I either push some awareness or get you involved or thinking about different things, not necessarily because you have anything better to do than just talk about cars, but they're getting extremely intricate, very complex, and very expensive from not too long ago where the vehicle was a very well refined and very dependable vehicle. The things that we used to get away with as far as not servicing and not maintaining the vehicles, I'm seeing in one of our shops cost folks a lot of money. And I continue to have certain discussions with folks, and they're like, well, if I would have known that, I would have XYZ or tried to prevent the failure. Where, cars through the 90s and the 2000s, really, as long as you kept fluids in them and changed the oil once in a while, they would faithfully and dependably and loyally serve you. The vehicles of today, I cannot express that they will do that without an immense amount of maintenance. However, when you do that, instead of a vehicle being worn out at 100,000 miles, can now go 300,000 and 400,000 miles. So there is a trade-off. Not all the advancements in technologies have been a negative. There is a lot of positives out there. But the video that we did last week, there was a really good comment on here from a friend of the channel, and actually a customer and somebody that I get to visit with from time to time. And I wanted to kind of go through it with you because he's been a professional driver for probably about as long as I've been in the automotive space. And he has some really good insights, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. But coming from a 16-year career at Big Box Store X, in the delivery department, I have observed the shift towards dependable mindset, or the shift away from the dependable mindset. The era of reliability in home appliances is a thing of the past. And I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about that here in a second. There's no longer compelling reason to invest in the quality of Maytag, Whirlpool, any of your big name brands. The primary home application industry has since started, or has ceased to start selling lifetime appliances. Instead, they focus on offering products with the latest features and gadgets such as steam drying, top load washers, pedestal washers and dryers, etc. And I couldn't agree with that more, and that really kind of dovetailed into the thought of this week's video. Is these newer vehicles are beautiful vehicles. They are making some really neat heated and ventilated seats, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring. I mean, almost autonomous driving vehicles, which would be self-driving. But right now, as they have pushed the envelope there, we have lost ground on the reliability or the robustness of the vehicle. You look at a 2000 Chevy pickup, Ford, Dodge pickup, I don't care. Look at any of them. Those were pretty good vehicles. And honestly, I still see a lot of them out on the road today, very dependably serving the owner that they have. The thing that I'm running into is parts availability to fix and repair those, is how they're pushing some of those vehicles into the salvage. And it's a big shame, to be honest. There's no reason we should be having some of the major failures at 60 to 120,000 miles on, say, a 2020 vehicle. That cost of repairs for a transmission, say, are $6,000 to $10,000 versus that 2000 model half-ton pickup that even back then, I could put a transmission in, pre the last 6 years for probably $6,000 on the top side. I've done a lot of them for $2,500, $3,500 now. Unfortunately, most of those days are gone unless you just have a rare unit. The cost of the repairs, the tooling to do those. You think about the salvage industry. You used to be able to take parts off a wrecked vehicle or a vehicle that, still had life left in whatever component and mix and match them over to your vehicle. And, back when I was younger, I put in a lot of used transmissions. I put in a lot of used engines. Now today, there's computers inside them that will not allow you to do that sometimes at all, but if not, without a lot of extra steps with equipment and hoops to jump through, if you will. And so, in my opinion, this is intentional. And really, you and I as a consumer have allowed a lot of this to happen. If a vehicle didn't sell, they quit making it, or we would steer or vote with our dollars. And I guess that's really where last week's video talking about do you fix it or do you throw it away and get a new one came from. And the appliance industry apparently is running the same playbook as the automotive industry. And the more I think about it, there's stuff that has worked for years in many industries. And yes, we need advancements. I'm not against change or learning new things, but I don't want to go backwards. I don't know about you. You can let me know in the comments whether you feel like what they're doing is working or not working. We attend and invest in training and knowledge full time here at A1 Custom Car Care, and we have the entire time I've been with this company. And if I ever have anything to say about it forever and ever and ever, we will continue doing that. But my commitment to fixing and maintaining and getting as much life out of the things that you invest your hard-earned money, and I don't want to throw it away and get a new one. And to the appliance industry, I think this is a great parity, if you will. So my wife and I have bought, I think we're on our third or fourth washer and dryer set in the last 10 years. And it bugs me to no end because I remember as a kid, we had a normal washer and dryer. That thing never broke. And my clothes smelled better and lasted longer with those washers and dryers than they have any of the last 4 units that we've had within the last 10 years. And so initially, when steam came out, I thought, well, I work very hard, I sweat a lot, I want to disinfect, etc. My clothes smell terrible. So I got rid of that. That was, I think, a Whirlpool, and I went to a Maytag. I had a set of Bravo Maytags when they were still kind of like the top load washer, and they were okay. I lost those in a divorce for just whatever it was. Those went with the house. And then since then, I bought, I think, another set of Whirlpool, another set of Maytag. I tried Maytag a second or third time. I've lost count because they're just complete sore memories, honestly, because these sets are probably about $800 a piece, so anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800 for a set of washer and dryer that do a worse job than the ones I had when I was a kid, which I think were probably hand-me-downs back then from somebody else, which is fine. So what did we end up doing in the end of this thing? We finally went to a store that sold Speed Queen, which is the closest thing that I can find to the old washer and dryer that I'm referring to. And really, as this comment, which I appreciated immensely, being involved with the channel and coming and doing business with us here at A1 Custom, as well as I get to talk to you once in a while. It's been a minute now. But it made me think a lot. Would I love to go and sign on the dotted line and get a new pickup? Sure. Have I ever done that? No. Even the more I think about it, what would I buy right now? And if you've got a new pickup out there or car or whatever and you love it, please let me know. I'm not just trying to be obtuse and one-sided on this thing. I don't know that I would. And if you can do that, more power to you. I hate to say make sure the warranty, and if you can get the factory extended warranty covered, I'd probably recommend it. But they're just not making a lot of great products right now. So I look at my personal purchasing power, or voting with your dollars, if you will. My service truck that I drive, for the company, it's a 2012 Chevy K3500. I think it's got about 260, 270,000 miles on it. My personal runaround truck is an '07 F-150. It's got 311 on it. My wife drives an '08 Navigator. It has, I think, real close to 240 on it. My son just started driving a 97 Dodge Dakota. You can see some videos here on the channel. I think it's probably 200, 180 to 230, somewhere in there. Now, we've made some significant investments in all of those vehicles, and I drive them far away from home. We take them to Florida. We take them to St. Louis on a regular basis, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kansas City. So those vehicles are not necessarily like, hey, I'm trying to keep some late model and new. I just try and make sure that my investment or my vote with my dollars goes into A, things that I own, and B, the technology at those times, so I'm talking about through the late 90s and through the 2000s, 2010s area. That technology was what has been refined and dependable. Back to the washer and dryer thing. Why I went with the Speed Queen setup is it was more of the old technology that served me well as a kid, that you could smell clean clothes. And maybe I'm the only one out here that works hard and sweats that you can tell whether you've got a good washer and dryer or not. But I know I'm not. I know a lot of you out there do it as well. That's important to me. So what are we going to keep doing? Are we going to keep buying disposable vehicles? Well, that's not all right with me. And if you do buy something late model, you better have the education behind it. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to make your payments. I don't know, do they still have payment books? I think the last time I bought, I think it was a tractor or a trailer, but I got one of those payment books that you tear off each payment. Maybe they don't do that anymore. So it's been a minute. By the time you get it paid off, is it going to be so broken and wore out that it's not worth anything and you've got to jump right back on the payment wagon? Maybe that's for you, but it's not for me. And I have a ton of you coming into the shop that you're looking for the same thing. You're not looking to rent your vehicle. And maybe there's a lot of people out there that lease. I don't know. I don't know that leasing is ever going to be something that fits me very well because I use my vehicles. And if you got to turn it back in and you've been using it and there's a dent or a scratch in it, it's going to cost you anyway. So for me, I'm going to refine and keep repowering and fixing. And I'm sharing it with you, not say in live speed, but pretty close. You guys see what I do. You see whether my words here on these podcasts match what I'm telling you. I like to fix things. And I am so happy to be a part of a company and be able to meet some of you here in the shops and play a role in fixing those things for you or preventing those failures before they happen. And that's really what this channel is about. That's why I got in the automotive business. That's why I started the YouTube channel. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. So this is going to be a little bit shorter one today. I missed, I think 2 weeks ago. I took a little vacation. So I want to try and keep this consistent. Let me know where you're at. Do you like the disposable society that we're in? Or do you miss being able to fix things and buy things of quality? I would venture to guess there's a lot of you out there that share the same mindset that I do. And if you don't, let life beat you around a little bit and you may change your mind. Life has a funny way of teaching you lessons. So greatly appreciate the comment down here, as well as getting to visit with you here in the shops from time to time. I wish you guys all well. It is hotter than Hades out there right now if you're watching this in July. I hope you guys are prepared. It'll be winter here before you know it. We'll talk to you next week.